Weeks after former U.S. Attorney for Maryland Rod Rosenstein is sworn in as Deputy Attorney General, he finds himself at the very center of the firing of ex-FBI Director James Comey. Rosenstein criticizing Comey for his actions last July when he held a news conference announcing the FBI would not charge Hillary Clinton in the email investigation.
Why did you fire Director Comey?
Because he wasn't doing a good job, very simply. He was not doing a good job.
Boy, I don't know. What a chaotic week, Dr. Andy POLLAK.
Well, since last July, there's been nearly universal consensus that Comey needed to be fired based on his handling of the Hillary email crisis. Now, all of a sudden, because the Trump administration does it, it's clouded in controversy.
Len FOXWELL.
Trump alone made the decision to fire James Comey. He did it exclusively over Russia in the investigation, and then he blatantly lied to the American people about how and when. He has done more to damage the credibility of this government, both home and abroad, than any president before him.
Delegate Keith Haynes.
The question and the issue really is whether or not this is about the email controversy or is it about the Russia investigation, and we need to have a special prosecutor to get to the bottom of it.
Caroline Arbaugh.
It's about the fact that he violated numerous standards of the federal prosecutorial procedure, and he crossed the lines of authority within the Justice Department, period.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Square Off. Great to have you there. Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Love you, moms. Yep. I'm going to talk about you in a little while. And we're delighted to be brought to you by PAPPAS Fabulous Restaurants, 5 locations, home of the delicious Fab Cake, one of Oprah's favorites, shipping these Fab Cakes all across the country, and by the great caring people at Future Care and Vital Strong Rehabilitation, getting you or your loved one home much faster and much stronger. So visit futurecare.com for more information. Here you go.
I believe that Mr. Comey is a good man, and I think he did his job well, and I don't think he deserved to be fired.
They're beginning to make Nixon look like amateurs. They've created a crisis of confidence in our justice system.
Keith, think they make it look like amateurs compared to Nixon?
I think we're at that point. I mean, we're on a collision course of chaos here. The story keeps changing every hour on the hour. From the spokesperson, from the White House, to the staffers, to the president himself, we can't get a straight story. In order to restore the confidence of the American people, we need a special prosecutor to get to the bottom of this issue.
Well, why are you smirking?
Because I think in order to restore the faith and the trust of the American people in the FBI, we needed to get rid of Comey. I mean, that was a unanimous amongst both parties. I mean, you can go back to the king of hypocrisy, Chuck Schumer, in November, saying he lost the trust, he needs to be let go. If Obama had let him go, everyone would be praising this.
But this is not about Obama. We're on President
They
Trump.
wanted to. So if Obama had fired him, it was the right
it's all
move.
about
But since
the
Trump
timing.
fired him, it was wrong.
Let's take a step back and look at what happened this week. Donald Trump fires the very man who was in charge of the investigation into the relationship between the president's campaign and Russian senior government officials, then comes up with a blatant and preposterous lie over how and when it came about. In the same week, he hosts the 2 senior-most Russian diplomats in a closed-door meeting in the White House.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You must have misunderstood. He's the director of the FBI. He's not leading any investigation. The people within the FBI are leading the investigation. Those people are still there doing their jobs.
Are you saying the FBI director was isolated from the investigation?
I'm saying the FBI director doesn't go to work every day from 9 to 5 and start investigating.
You guys be respectful.
How can you say that the FBI director is not spearheading an investigation that's being coordinated by the Justice
Department? The FBI director is not the guy who's driving the investigations. There are investigators within the Bureau who are doing that. He's the spokesperson. He leads the Bureau. There is no investigation that's stopped. Andy McCabe has made that very clear since. There's no investigation that's stopped since he left. There's no investigation that will stop since he left. The congressional committees that are investigating are still investigating.
Trump just said it just a couple of days ago. I fired Comey because I want the Russian investigation to go away. Okay. He said that.
You got to show me that tape.
Away.
It ain't going away.
God, Keith, stop.
But everyone has to agree here that even though the FBI director may not be handling personally the investigation, he's the guy responsible. He's the top guy.
So you think it's going to go away because he's gone?
I didn't say it's going to go away.
Does anybody think it's going to go away because it's gone?
The issue is the timing And the issue is the timing and when he was let go and when he was fired. And it gives a suspect to why he was fired. And we have to get to the bottom of that.
One story's in Friday morning's op-ed page of The Sun. It said that Rosenstein got trumped. And there are reports that Rosenstein is so upset about being thrown under the bus by the president and other people that he threatened to quit. He denies that he was threatening to quit. He says President Trump told Lester Holt that firing Comey was his and his decision alone.
Because in your letter you said I accepted their recommendation,
yeah, well,
so you had already made the decision.
I was going to fire regardless of recommendation.
What were you going to say?
Well, I'm just saying that Rosenstein actually, like you said, came out and said that that was not true. He did not ever threaten to quit, and that he stands by the memo that he wrote. There is enough evidence in that memo that I don't see how you can't say that this was justified. I mean, this was justified in every way. The timing is not the only question, because if that's like saying if somebody murders somebody, they still have to get prosecuted for it, whether or not we decide to do that now or later. All the evidence is there. There was more than enough reasons. He violated enough procedures.
Filibustering.
There's the reason why the FBI director has a 10-year term. It's to insulate him or her from the politics of investigations and doing the job. This has risen to the level of being political because of the timing and because of the type of investigation that's going on.
He made himself political a long time ago.
Hold it.
Well, it's not nonsense. The bottom line is that the timing of when this occurred, how it occurred, and the rhetoric of the reasons why it happened is suspect. I mean, the president says he was going to fire him a long time ago. You got the vice president saying one thing, you got the press secretary saying another. Nobody has a straight answer. We have to get to the bottom of this.
Word is Spicer may be the next to go, by the way. Go on.
Well, there is a straight answer. He's fired. In the context of an investigation that's this important, the credibility of the FBI is of paramount importance to the people and to the Congress. And there can be no credibility in the FBI when the director won't admit to the mistakes that were made in the process that they went through in July and then again in October. There was nobody who was more furious about that process in October than the Democrats. And
15
now all
seconds,
of a sudden,
Len.
they
Finish it up.
No serious person believes here for a single solitary moment that Rod Rosenstein, 2 weeks into his job, conducts a thorough investigation, hands his memo to the Attorney General, who then hands it to the President of the United States, who then decides on that basis to fire him that same day. It just doesn't work that way.